Howdy all, this is Shane. Welcome to part 2 of my Fender versus Squier video series, and we're going to do a bit of a play test today. I wanted to wait on part 2 of this video until I got this guitar back. This is my 52 reissue, and it's just been fitted now with brand new frets, the 6105s, so they actually feel amazing under the fingers. They really do feel great, and it feels smooth, and everything about it feels good. And one thing to point out too was the tech said the guitar was in dire need of a setup anyway. The intonation was out, the neck was out, the saddles were at the wrong height. Everything about it was just not good. And it's funny, I didn't realize how bad it had gotten over time, but clearly it needed a bit of work. So to put it into some context, right now, as it stands today, this is the best that this guitar has ever played. Hands down. It feels better than when I bought it. It's 10 times nicer than before I took it in. And it was something that the setup alone wasn't going to fix. I had actually worn the frets down quite a lot. And it goes to show how much I actually now dislike the vintage frets. I'm a huge fan now of these. And whenever another guitar is in need of either a new neck or new frets, I'm just going to get refretted with these because they are that good. I actually feel like this is the guitar that I should have bought at the start. So just to put it into some sort of context again, to remind everybody of what was going on in the last video, I mentioned this was actually, it was $1,550 US all up, including tax. I then had to replace the pots because both of them were faulty. I also replaced the pickups, which were $400 on top of that. And now I've just spent $400 on a fret job. It was either that or literally get a new neck or get a classic vibe neck and put it on. So let's give this a play test now. I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that I did on the last video where it would choke out. I'm going to overbend on purpose. So it might get kind of funky, but I'll show you what I mean. Even up higher. I was unable to play anywhere above 12 without it fretting out. Every time that I did a bend, it was just choking everywhere. Just about every string too. It was awful. So that said, this now plays like a dream. How much better is it than the Squier Classic Vibe? Let's give this a shot. I love the Squier Classic Vibe Tele. This thing is going absolutely nowhere. I think it's a much better instrument even than the Strat of the Squier Classic Vibe that I have. I think it's just everything about it feels better for me personally, but it's personal choice. I'm not saying the Strat's bad, but this is very, very close to that, which is insane. All right, I was on the bridge pickup, so let's give this a go. It feels awesome. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this guitar. I'm still going to take it to gigs. I'm still going to jam with it. Everything about this still feels really good. And the frets actually feel great. Like, this is one of those guitars where I didn't have to go spending, you know, bucket loads of money on it to make it sound good. It already sounds good. It plays great. And I guess the guy at Daytona's music shop, what's the name of it? Total Entertainment, did a pretty good job getting it right for me. And I unbolted the neck when I took this home as well. I just put it in my suitcase. So I put it back together and it plays great. So very nice. And let's just go ahead and I guess show you some of the different sounds. As you may know, my Telecaster back here, I've got Joe Barton pickups in there, which are my personal favorites, but these sound really great. So let's give this a shot. I'm gonna play some chords and then I'll play some lead stuff on each of the pickups. So this is bridge pickup. So this is with my 52 now on the bridge. Feels great to play. Now onto my favorite position on this particular tally is the middle position. It's hum cancelling as well. Let's play something else. Middle position. Nice. So onto the neck pickup now, and this one sounds pretty cool. And neck pickup now on the 52 reissue. Yeah, so I should still point out again, both of these feel great to play. This feels the best it's ever felt, and it sounds really cool. I really dig the tone of this guitar. It's kind of like, I guess, part of my personality musically in some ways. I'm glad I kept it instead of just offloading it when it had some problems. I'm really glad I kept it. Now it feels and plays better than the Squier now for me. That doesn't mean it plays 100 times nicer than it at all. It absolutely doesn't. It plays, you know, a good 15% better, maybe. I just like the fatter neck on this guitar. It has a nice big neck, whereas the Squier one is a little thinner, which still feels fine for me as well, but this just feels better. And the pickups, obviously spending the money on the extra pickups is a personal choice as well. I happen to really dig these Joe Bardens. They don't make any noise, and they are totally spanky. So anyone who tells you that Joe Barden pickups are just humbuckers, they really don't know what they're talking about. They sound great. So this is the single coil now on the Squier. It plays so good. Especially on the neck pickup, you'll notice the difference in the tone. Awesome. See, that neck pickup to me is still nice. It's very mellow, but it's much better than the stock pickups that I got in this particular guitar. So let's try that again. It does feel better to play. I'm not just saying that, not because the job's done and it feels good. So let's try it now on the Fender 52 reissue. Wow, it feels great to play, it really does. It's really just given the guitar a certain kind of feel about it it's just never had. And yeah, I'm so glad I did this. So some of the benefits of putting stainless steel frets in a guitar is that they not only will last so much longer than regular frets, they'll look this shiny in 12 months from now. And I'm glad I spent like an extra 50 bucks to put stainless steel frets in, and they just won't need the maintenance, you know, the fret dressing that the other ones will for quite a long time. I'm not saying they'll last forever, but they'll last a lot longer than, you know, the nickel or whatever they make the normal frets out of. So yeah, very nice, and I hope this is somewhat informative. Like I said, I'm not here to bash either the Fender or the Squier. I did bash this one a bit in the last video, but I thought it was well deserved. I spent a lot of money on replacing just about everything on this guitar to get it to work, and it came down to a really good guy who knew how to set everything up properly instead of the ones that just do a setup and then don't set it up properly. And yeah, so it came down to that, and the combination of, you know, stainless steel frets make this thing just really stand out, and I'm totally blown away by it. As you can probably tell, you're going to see this again in my videos. So it's great having both of these guitars. I'll keep the classic vibe, absolutely. I'm still going to play with it and use it. So the major difference is for me now, not only the sound of the pickups is different, but this feels a little bit better to play for my type of hand. I got really big hands, and I like the fatter neck. I think it just feels better for me now. But that said, this one has its own sound and own feel. It's very, very close to this one. So if you're going to ask me, what do I think about the differences? I think the stock one of these is nowhere near as good as one of those. That's just my opinion. I think once you change the pickups, or you put in pickups that are actually more usable with overdrive, and you know, if you play with distortion and you click on a distortion pedal with the original pickups that were in this, it would just squeal. It was useless. So it's been great having different pickups in here. Made probably the most difference up until I got the fret job. The fret job changed the way the guitar has felt in the hands, and it's just never felt like this. And as you can see, I've worn this out over the years. And I was sort of reluctant to get rid of it because it was all me. You know, lots of sweat or whatever coming out of my wrist or whatever. So yeah, it's got some war wounds on it. I really love it. So both of these guitars are fantastic. I can recommend either. If you're on a budget, definitely go for the Squier Classic Vibe. And I got some information from one of the cool guys on, I think, was it Facebook or YouTube, who mentioned these might be tone rider pickups in this guitar. So that's probably half the reason why it sounds so good, other than the fact, you know, they're very, very close in design. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So yeah, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And like I said, both are great guitars. And if you've got a Tele that you already like, then I'm not saying you need to do anything with that. But if you're finding, like I did with these vintage frets, that they choke out and they wear out really, really quickly, then I would highly suggest, you know, keeping the guitar if you're happy to do that, and putting some stainless steel frets in, because they feel fantastic. I don't know what else to say. I love it. you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.